Rest in peace to Charlie Kirk, and bless his family. I know the devil's hard at work. I can't even fathom all the grief and pain that y'all have went through. My thoughts are nearly impossible to explain, but I'll attempt to. I've already written like 5 intros, so many wasted paragraphs and revised pen strokes. There's just so many things I wanna say, and I don't wanna say them wrong. I don't know how many times I almost threw away this song. But I feel an obligation. I have a platform and people want my observation. This one is complicated, I go back and forth on it. The facts are distorted so much I'm half and half, I'm torn on it, trying to grasp the scope of this. And so I'm asking if there's more to it. Reading way too much and end up actually just warping it. Too many voices echoing, reporting everything. How you supposed to comb through all these different passages and sort it? There's so much information out there, it can make you feel like you don't know what's fake or real. Way too many Facebook reels. Shit, it's almost like it's done on purpose, just to make us chase our tails. I wish someone would wake me up and offer me those matrix pills, so I could see through all the tints in the facade. But I can't, so I feel like I should give this up to God, cause it's a lot and I could use some guidance. Cause I'm struggling, I got 2 different sides that are inside of me just tugging. My heart tells me fuck these nasty individuals, so despicable, fucking trash, I bet they're miserable. Couldn't last in a debate, so they had to get physical. Got smashed verbally, so they resorted back to trigger pulls. All he did was talk, he debated, that was all. Never held a position in office or made any laws. He created an organization to display his faith. He sat right in front of your face and had conversations with y'all. He spoke. He never suspended your rights, never signed a single fucking bill that affected your life. What exactly did he do that directly impacted you? Instead of saying a couple of sentences that you disliked, y'all took a couple quotes out of their context and flipped it, cut out the important parts and conveniently left them missing. And even then it still didn't sound that aggressive. Shit, if you thought that was radical, then we got different definitions. And you go and compare him to George Floyd, cause he was a father too. Fucking oh boy, what a wild thing to say. I don't gotta even explain, it's 2 way different things. This shit is not even the same. You can't trust someone that you don't personally know, so I can never say for sure that Charlie Kirk would be my bro. But if I were to go off of reputation alone, I would never fucking let George Floyd into my home. And it's got nothing to do with his race or his skin complexion. Nah, it's more to do with his lengthy criminal record. Yeah, it's more because the drug possessions and the robberies and home invasions, I would trust him less around my property. We shouldn't make a mockery of him, I acknowledge that. Just because he was a criminal, we shouldn't pile on that. I won't say I'm glad that he's dead or claim he deserved it, but don't act like for 1 second that this was the same person. Just check out the reactions to their deaths, quite the opposite. Look what y'all did, and look at our response to it. Instead of riots in the streets, we prayed quietly in peace. We never let our emotions go, we tied them to a leash. We never flipped and flew off the handle and got shitty, and left the town crawling with vandals and cops spitting. Shit was gritty, what we saw on the channels was not pretty. The only thing we burned was candles, not cities. So get the fuck out of my face with all these comparisons. Y'all are embarrassing, we can't even call you Americans. You follow a narrative, such a typical situation. The minute something changes, these liberals switch their places. There's something wrong with you if you celebrated his death. You say the right is full of spite, but there's hella hate on the left. It's weird, it's almost like this shit melted away your stress. I never saw somebody die and then felt elated or blessed, but it makes sense. Your party's been stirring this shit. There's countless videos of politicians encouraging this. See, they rile up their base until they pile up their hatred. And now look, all of a sudden gun violence is their favorite. The minute Jimmy Kimmel got pulled from the air at night, the First Amendment became the left's most sacred, cherished right. Now no one should be punished for their words, it's so important. You're right. Imagine being murdered for it. You know, I feel like my music has been pretty moderate. I never lean too hard in one direction or the opposite. Yeah, it's obvious that I'm conservative, but watch my shit. I think I do a pretty good job at keeping my common sense. But lately I've been giving less of a fuck. I got a headache, I'm so fed up with the left and their stunts. From the messages they pump, a bunch of pedos peddling junk. I used to separate you, now I just think everyone sucks. I'll never be friends with you, ugh. Nah, fuck it dog, I'm serious. How the fuck can you relate to somebody who cheers for this? Y'all are weird for this. I'm done salvaging relationships. I ain't picking up broken pieces off the ground and saving it. If you can't say that this is bad and just agree it's heinous, then I don't give a fuck if you unfollow me or hate this. It sucks, this shit has done massive amounts of damage. And you know, it's probably exactly how they planned it.
All right, welcome back to the podcast Straight from the Hip, episode 2. Alright? Say hello to the bad guy. So tonight we're going to talk about Nick Fuentes, the quote-unquote bad guy. Okay? Somebody's got to be the bad guy. Okay? He's got to be the bad guy. Everybody likes to point the fingers. Everybody likes to be so quick to point out all the negative shit he said or bad shit he said, and they want to condemn him or denounce him or this and then that, and he's a racist and he's a Nazi and he's this and he's not a real Catholic, he's not a real Christian, he's, everybody's got a quick opinion about him. But most of the time, all right, I would say 99.9% of the time, you can't say he's wrong. Okay, you might not like what he has to say. You might not agree with his approach. You might not agree with how he gets the message across. You might not like how he carries himself. Okay, but you cannot say he's wrong. I mean, I don't agree with everything he says, but I can give one example, okay? I'll give an example before we talk about what we're going to talk about tonight, okay? I was 110% for Trump in 2024, and Nick Fuentes says he's going to try to get us into war with Iran. He's going to do Israel's bidding, this and that Trump's basically bought and paid for by Israel, and that he wasn't voting for Trump. And I was critical of Nick. In his chat. On Twitter, and then come to find out, he was right. I mean, it's just that simple. I mean, if you watch this administration and you watch what's going on, you can't deny it anymore. We are doing Israel's bidding. And that's just one example, okay? I think a lot of people think about him saying the N-word, him being involved in Charlottesville, him being involved in January 6th. They think he's a domestic terrorist, and I can almost guarantee you not one of the people that have negative shit to say about him have sat down and actually watched one of his shows. Okay, they're going based off clips. They're going based off a narrative that's formed about the guy. And they're going into it, in my opinion, I would say they're going in there half-cocked. And they already have an opinion about the guy. And I just hate to say this, but their opinion's probably wrong, okay? I think Nick Fuentes is vital to the conservative movement, okay? We need people that are not afraid to get canceled. We need people that are going to go against the grain. We need people that aren't going to cower as soon as somebody calls them out on the internet. And all of a sudden they have to denounce everything they've done in their life. The thing is that if you do something and you stand by it and then you come back and apologize for it, I have zero respect for you. Okay, everything I've ever said on the internet, I don't back down from it. I will stand on it. I'm not denouncing anybody. I've never had anybody ask me to denounce a certain person, but if they did, I wouldn't fucking do it. All right. And look, I get it. I don't have shit for followers on Facebook. I don't run or on YouTube, on Rumble. I don't make money off of this shit. Okay. I'm not in a position where I'm running a huge company and making a bunch of money off of making content. Okay, but if you do, and all of a sudden, because there's been several people that have had to come out and from politicians to content creators, you name it, they've had to come out and denounce Nick Fuentes for some of the shit that he said, and it's that is some gay shit, or they've had to denounce some of the shit that they've done in their past. Okay, and make apology videos and go on an apology tour, and I will never do that. Okay, I am not apologizing. All right. Now, tonight I was going to talk about the EBT crisis that is right around the corner. I have several videos to talk about that. But the problem is I do believe some of them are like skits. and I can't tell if they're true or false. And I'm going to wait and gather some more information, gather some more videos before I go live with it on Tuesday night. We're going to talk about the EBT crisis that's right around the corner with the government shutdown that's been happening. And it seems like everybody's making a bunch of threats, okay? And it's coming from one side, okay? Now, I'm not saying that everybody, I believe that every race abuses food stamps, okay? I've seen it happen in my own fucking family. Some of my own family have abused the welfare system, okay? So I believe it comes from both sides, all right? But there's only one side right now, and that's black people that are on the internet making threats about robbing stores and robbing people and stealing shit out of people's houses and cars and going to the grocery store and just grabbing carts full of food and walking out. But the thing is I have noticed that some of them are skits. Some of them are fake. And I haven't been able to figure out which ones are fake, which ones are real. I guess we just got to wait until they start stealing shit. We can't tell if it's real or fake. But Shanique would just stole my fucking car. Stole all my groceries out of my fucking refrigerator. Anyway. Oh, shit. You don't know who Nick Fuentes is? That's all right. You're going to find out a little bit today. Finally, more people are recognized the theater of it all. Truth. This is the thing, man. We're going to watch a video tonight. I seen a video today that was posted by a content creator, a guy I actually really like. And I'm going to bring it up. We're going to talk about it. And most people know him in my chat. His name's Nelson, Thoughts of a Predicate Winner. We're gonna watch his latest video, one of his latest videos that he just dropped. He's a good guy. He's a Christian guy. He's a white guy. We've actually done a little bit of content together. Super nice guy. Inspirational, motivational, good dude to hang around. But we're going to have to talk about the video that he put out today, basically talking about Charlie Kirk and Nick Fuentes and how they don't compare. And then they got him and his little liberal friend, which we're going to talk about his little liberal friend too. But they started talking about DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and how that's been implemented in businesses. And that, basically Nelson's little friend said that, it's not being used to directly hire minorities. And it's like, okay, if you say so. If you say so, buddy. But we're gonna watch that video. We're gonna break it down. I want to say this: it's not meant to take shots at Nelson. Okay, I like Nelson, even if he has a different opinion than me. I still like the guy. I'm not expecting him to watch my video and all of a sudden become a Nick Fuentes fan, okay? That's his prerogative, that's his business, that's what he wants to do. Whatever he likes, that's on him. So, but I want to watch this video because I think it's important. I think it's important to watch this video and see how deceptive the liberal is. Okay, they'll be your buddy, their friend. You might even agree on a few things together. Okay, you might even agree on a few things together. But the liberal is a deceptive person. Okay, you gotta watch. You gotta keep an eye on him. And I personally, and people will say, well, man, that's pretty fucked up. We gotta find a way to all come together, man. I personally wouldn't be friends with a fucking liberal. And I just ain't gonna do it, okay? I don't have anything in common with you, okay? I don't want to abort babies. I don't want to live off fucking welfare, okay? I don't want to practice DEI, use inclusive language, confirm somebody's fucking fantasy of a man becoming a woman or a woman becoming a man. I just ain't gonna do it, okay? Just ain't gonna do it. Yeah, I agree. Nelson is the homie. I like Nelson. He's a good dude. And like I said, this is no way taking shots at him. I just want to watch the video. There was some stuff I wanted to um, uh, not rebuke, but argue about, or some stuff that I thought he was wrong on, to where I think I can prove that he is wrong. And that's okay. He probably doesn't follow politics as much as I do, and that's fine. I like. You're not gonna be. A lot of people see Nick's videos, like just regular like clips or whatever. They see like a three minute clip, or a 2 minute clip, or a 1 minute clip on fucking TikTok or Instagram or something, and they think this guy's an arrogant, racist asshole, and he's this and he's that and he's this and he's that. But if you go back and you look at it, like there's a lot of black people out there that respect Nick, because Nick, they know that he is right about the black community, and he's not afraid to say it. And believe it or not, that stuff does get respect. Especially if you're a black person that's just trying to live a normal life and trying to do the right thing every day. Okay? So hold on. He's not popping up on my page. Here we go. So I don't know if he did it on his page or this other guy's page. So I gotta find it. He's talking about politics. It's alright. It's in my history. I'll find it. But yeah, I mean, I just think that his little liberal friend was definitely trying to deceive him a little bit. He's trying to play Mr. Nicey guy and fucking.
Since the
It was trying to play like this, like, oh, I don't know what that is. Oh, I've never heard of that, or I don't agree with that. And it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, I can tell you're lying, bro. You're lying, bro. One thing that liberals good at doing, and that's lying. So I'm gonna show you what exactly he was fucking lying about. Alright, so here we go. This is Thoughts of a Predicate Winner. I don't know what page this is from. I don't know if they started a new page together. It's called the Split the Difference and Thoughts of a Predicate Winner. I guess they're coming together and collabing, which is cool. Whatever. If you want to be friends with liberal, I wouldn't recommend it. But all power to you. Do what you gotta do, bro. But I wanna watch this video. Let's go ahead and jump into it. It's 24 minutes long. Let's go. It's their new channel. Okay. It's their new channel. That pretty much solves that. Solves that question. All right, let's go.
passing of Charlie Kirk, been having conversations with you. I've seen different conversations online, rather, I shouldn't say I've had them. I've seen different conversations online where there has been a comparison, even by Nick himself, from Nick Fuentes to Charlie Kirk. And I think that they can't be further from polar opposite people. And I would just like to discuss that with you. What are your thoughts on it?
Nick and Charlie Kirk are two totally different people. Okay. Charlie Kirk was a huge supporter of Israel, of Jews, of Zionism, all the way up until he died. I mean, he did have some pushback towards the end. He did start to speak out a little bit about what happened on October 7th, with Hamas and the genocide and this and that. He was starting to come around a little bit, but for the most part, Charlie Kirk was a huge supporter of Israel. He was a huge supporter of Jews, and he got a lot of money from Jewish donors for Turning Point USA. That's just facts, okay? That's not me criticizing him. That's facts, okay? And Nick Fuentes has always been the opposite. He's always been highly critical of Jews. He's always been highly critical of Israel, of Zionists, people that are behind the scenes pulling pulling the strings on our political puppets, okay? And those are, mostly Zionist Jews that are doing that, okay? Now, I'm not saying that all Jews are bad, okay? But much like a liberal, they're very deceptive. Jews, in my opinion, most of them are, especially the wealthy ones, are liberals, Democrats, okay? But anyway, let's go ahead and get in there. So I never heard Nick say that I'm much like Charlie Kirk, okay? He's never really said that. Now, they're in similar positions, okay? They're in similar positions. I would say on a mainstream platform, Charlie Kirk is the more, or is and was the more popular of the two. Okay, he had more notoriety, he had more popularity, so on and so forth. But in Nick's defense, ever since Charlottesville, and ever since January 6th, they've basically tried to destroy this kid's life. Ever since he was 18, 19 years old, they tried to destroy this kid's life, all because he wanted to push back against Jews. He wanted to push for, he had huge ideas about, having a white population, a white majority population, that he didn't like all the illegal immigration, the minorities taking over neighborhoods, and so on and so forth. Not very popular messages. It's going to get you criticized. It's going to get your bank account seized. It's going to get you put on the no-fly list. So Nick Fuentes has went through it for a long time, and I don't pretend to know everything about the kid. Okay, I knew he was there during Charlottesville. Okay, I remember when that happened. I didn't really follow him that close. And then I really started following him close about a year and a half ago. And he's not what people think he is. You know what I'm saying? After Charlie Kirk's death, okay, everybody expected Nick to come out and say, we gotta fucking attack all the liberals. I think a lot of people were expecting Nick to come out with a very hateful, divisive message, and I encourage everybody to go back and listen to the first episode that Nick did after Charlie Kirk's death. It was very respectful, it was thoughtful, okay, and in my opinion, that speech that he gave that night was presidential. Okay, that was a speech that President Trump should have gave. Okay, and you can disagree with it or not, but if you haven't watched the interview, then your opinion don't mean shit. Okay? And that's just my personal opinion. So, a lot of people have this build-up notion, this build-up idea of who Nick Fuentes is. And it's, I don't know. I think it's a little bit skewed.
I didn't know about this topic, so I didn't prepare very well, but I do have a couple things. I know, like you said, Nick has explicitly said that he felt like he was competing with Charlie Kirk for his audience, which I think generally is sort of young, right-leaning men, right?
And I think that's fair. That's a fair statement. Yeah.
Which way do we want to go with this? Are we talking about people on the left comparing Charlie Kirk and Nick Fuentes and saying they're both harmful? Or
no? Well, we can go there too. I don't care who was comparing the two. I think that they cannot be further from. I think these are two totally different men with totally different agendas. Even if they're after the same captive audience, I think that these are two totally different men from totally different.
So let's
places.
start. Let's explain who Nick Fuentes is, since he's a little bit more.
I wouldn't say they were totally different. Okay, there were some differences, but Charlie Kirk was a Christian. Nick Fuentes is a Catholic. I mean, they had some stuff in common. They're both outspoken about their faith. Okay, they're both right-wing guys. They were both very strong in their beliefs. Whatever they believed, literally Charlie Kirk died for it. Okay, and they both had a no backing down type of attitude. Okay, even with Charlie Kirk, I wasn't a huge fan of him, but there was times where he was. He got pretty aggressive on those college campuses, and he stood his ground. And even if I didn't agree with what he was saying, he stood his ground. He didn't fucking back down. And I think Nick would agree. You have to admire that about a man. If you believe something and you're willing to stand on it and not back down, and then you're eventually assassinated for it, I mean, you gotta respect that. And I don't claim to be a huge Charlie Kirk fan, but going back and watching some of his old speeches, they were actually pretty good. He was pretty impactful in these college kids' lives. Okay. Yeah, it was inspirational. But anyway, let's jump back in and see what they're saying here.
I guess he is kind of in the public eye these days, more so.
Yeah,
but back in the day,
making his rounds.
He was more niche. He is generally right leaning. They call themselves Groypers, which, God, dude, we're getting into dangerous territory, being like small, non-existent creators already fucking with Nick Fuentes, because these people are rabid. But
come at me, bro.
Groypers. Yeah, I'll say this. I don't think the Groypers would fuck with you guys. I'll say that. And I don't claim to be a Groyper at all. Okay? But they're not bad people. All right? Some of them are a little crazy. All right? Yeah, you gotta watch some of them. You don't want to go in. It's almost like any troll on the internet. And I wouldn't say the Groypers are trolls. I would just say they're pretty passionate about what they believe, and what they believe in is Catholicism. And they believe in Catholicism. They believe in white nationalism. Okay, and they believe in America first. And if they believe in that, they're going to stand on business. All right, and if you fuck with that, yeah, they will harass you. They will harass you, bro. And, but I don't think they're going to mess with, Nelson, a straight white guy, and his gay liberal friend. I think your liberal friend might be gay, Nelson, but all right, let's go.
Or I guess he is kind of in the public eye these days, more so.
Yeah,
but back in the day,
making his rounds.
He was more niche. He is generally right leaning. They call themselves Groypers, which, God, dude, we're getting into dangerous territory, being like small, non-existent creators already fucking with Nick Fuentes, because these people are rabid. But
come at me, bro.
Say that. Generally far right leaning. He was associated with Ye when he ran for president.
That's when I first figured him out.
They met with Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago. I don't know if you heard about that. Ye brought him to Mar-a-Lago. They had dinner with Trump, and then Trump the next day had to come out basically and denounce and be like, I didn't know who it was. I had no idea what he believed. He seemed like a nice guy.
That was a pussy action by Trump. Never denounce. All right, stand your ground. Don't denounce anything. All right, that's exactly what they want you to do. They want you in a position. They want you in a kneeling position. Okay, never kneel, bro. I ain't gonna do that. Never denounce. Stand your ground. These people, fuck them. You can say what you want about Nick Fuentes. You can say he's a racist. You can say he's a insurrectionist. You can say this and you can say that. But there's not been one person on the right up until just recently that was as dedicated and worked as hard to support Donald Trump. Because there for the longest time, I mean, dude, it was full go, Donald Trump, make America great again. And I think the denouncing the Nick Fuentes and Trump dinner, and then Trump coming out and denouncing Nick Fuentes, I think that's what started to turn it a little bit. Nick was still supporting him, but he's like, it's kind of gay. And I would have to agree. That's pretty gay.
Yeah.
And then, proceeded on, and then he kind of faded out. I think that was the peak.
And I think he's a wild boy, looking for shock value in whatever way he can get it. I really do. I think that he has these principalities that he thinks that he stands on. A lot of times can't be further from the truth than what he says he does stand on. Like Catholicism. He says that he's a Catholic. I don't.
Yeah, I think he would. I don't know what he would identify as, but I think like far right Christian nationalist is generally like.
No, that's what I was about to say. I need to differentiate the two. So Catholicism and Christianity, it is different. Like an Orthodox Christian or a Catholic, these are two different things, and a lot of people group them into the same basket. Us as Christians and them as Catholics know this. We know that there's huge differences, and I don't want to get into all the specifics of all of the differences, but they're pretty huge differences. Like for me, as just a regular Christian, like our whole thing is like we hang our coat and we hang our hat on Jesus. Like Jesus is the way, the truth, the life. No man can enter the kingdom of God except by him. And for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. So like we hang our coats and our hats on Jesus. In Catholicism, most Catholics I know don't even know what being saved is, right? So we have two different ideologies is basically what I'm trying to get to. And Catholics have their own doctrines, and they believe that basically that priests.
You can tell, like when Nelson is talking about Jesus and God and Christianity and Catholicism, this dude's super uncomfortable, bro. He doesn't like that. I think it's because he's a homosexual. I'm sorry. Nelson, if he's your friend, I'm sorry, all right? I'm just throwing it out there. I think he's gay. Be careful. I'm just talking shit because he's a liberal. But anyway.
Well, I was trying to just get to what he believes first.
Well, this is important, though. Like,
Nick Fuentes is a Catholic, okay? I don't pretend to know everything about Catholics, okay? I know they're very like ritualistic. I think, they say like prayers to Mother Mary and stuff like that. I don't understand it, okay? I go based off of what I understand in the scriptures, and what I understand is that Jesus Christ paid the price on the cross, okay? He was resurrected after the third day. And then he came back and, then eventually ascended into heaven or gave us the Holy Spirit. That type of, like, that's about as far as it goes, okay? As far as Catholicism or Orthodox, I just don't know much about it. I'm going to look into it a little bit more. If I'm going to criticize Catholicism, which I have a lot, I've criticized Catholicism a lot. I need to have a better understanding of exactly what it is, okay? And, I definitely don't believe in, like, going to a priest and asking a priest to forgive my sins, okay? I think that is between me and God, and I come to God as a sinner, and I ask him to forgive me. I repent, and, not to say that it's every time I sin, I gotta repent, and then like I just keep repeating the process because I got forever repentance. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that when it's time to repent, when it's time to lay it all down, I'm laying it at the foot of the cross, and I'm asking the Lord for forgiveness. I'm not asking a preacher or a priest inside of a little room to forgive me of my sins. I'm not doing that. But not saying, I don't know. Like I said, I need to look more into it. But you could tell he was kind of uncomfortable when he was talking about that. I thought it was kind of funny.
They believe that priests are ordained by God himself to create their own law, to create their own rules. Like, they believe that you have to go through a priest to ask for forgiveness. There's many things, many differentials there I just wanted to talk about before we get into the specifics of it. But yeah, you can continue.
I would say Christian nationalist-esque, where I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've seen any of his debates, where generally he believes that we should have a white ethno-state where we have a white majority, and that we need to either, I guess, segment the United States or whatever it is, to like give other, the ones who are minorities now their own states, and so we can have like a homogenous group of people. Otherwise, in his opinion, stuff gets bad.
Okay, so I want to stop him right here, okay? Nick does believe this to a certain extent, all right? A white ethno state. He does believe that, we should be white majority. And, that's the way this country has always been, okay? So, to keep this country free and to keep us from swaying, because I think we already have to a certain degree, swaying too far from the Constitution, we should remain white majority. Okay, that means we should not be, all right, bringing in millions upon millions of illegal immigrants or just immigrants in general from different countries that have been like devastated by war and poverty and all this shit. Sad story. Feel bad for you. Don't fucking come here. Okay? We don't want you here. You bring all these people in from different societies, from different countries, different cultures, and it's going to begin to change ours. And some of those people in the Middle East have been fighting for thousands of years. Okay? Each other. Okay? They're not a peaceful people. And you want to welcome these people over here. It's like all the shit that was going on with Haiti. Okay? They want to keep turning the United States into a melting pot. Okay? That's been the propaganda ever since I've been alive. Is that America is the melting pot of the world. Okay? That we should welcome in other people from different cultures. But when I was younger, it was more like you need to come, like if you come over, you can stay here, and, we'll give you work and we'll give you this. But you have to assimilate to our country. You eventually have to become a legal citizen. There was a process, okay? And people respected this country, and they came over and they assimilated, and they learned to love this country. They learned to respect this country. Now it's like they come over and they might as well just be taking a fucking big old shit all over our country. Okay, they don't want to learn our language. They don't want to learn our driving laws. They don't want to assimilate to our way of living. They want to do what they want to do. They act like fucking animals, okay? And you can say whatever you want, but I witnessed it firsthand with the fucking Haitians, okay? And you can call me whatever you want, but those people don't fucking belong here. They don't belong here. It's time to go home, okay? You gotta go home. All right, go fight for your own fucking country. Because a lot of the people over in Haiti, they practice voodoo, okay? There was a video, and I've talked about this several times before, back when I was talking about Haiti, but there was a video out about 2 years ago where it was like right before we got all the Haitians that came to the United States, okay? There was like a big civil war breakout in Haiti, and there were videos going around showing the country like burning to the ground, okay? And all of a sudden it's like showing all this devastation, and it like pans over. It's a real fucking video because it got taken off of X several times, and I got it saved on my phone. But it pans over, and this guy's got a hacked up fucking leg, and he's eating it, okay? He's eating the leg over a big garbage can barrel. He's got like a fire in this barrel, and he's eating this fucking leg over the barrel, okay? If you want those people here, go ahead, invite them into your house. They're not fucking coming here, all right? They gotta go back. Bye. Does that make me racist? I don't give a fuck. I just don't, okay? And I cannot stress this enough. Wake the fuck up at what they're doing to us, okay? They want white people to be the minority, okay? That with all these illegal immigrants they're bringing in, it also hurts black people, all right? Do you think they're just giving all of that just because one day the white people wake up and we're the minority? Do you think black people are going to get treated any better? No. Okay? They're not. Yeah, all these jobs are going to go to these illegal immigrants because they can cut their pay. I don't know. I think we all win if this country stays white majority. But hell, what do I know? It doesn't make you racist. It makes you observant. Exactly, bro. Exactly. But anyway, let's go back just a little bit. We're only 4 minutes into this, but this liberal dude just goes on this stupid ass. Says some stupid shit here soon.
The ones who are minorities now, their own states, and so we can have like a homogenous group of people. Otherwise, in his opinion, stuff gets bad. I
can't stand it.
Well,
hold on. Run that back real quick. I want to hear what he fucking that full thought.
You can continue.
I would say Christian nationalist-esque, where I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've seen any of his debates. Where generally he believes that we should have a white ethno-state where we have a white majority, and that we need to either segment the United States or whatever it is, to like give other the ones who are minorities now their own states, and so we can have like a homogenous group of people. Otherwise, in his opinion, stuff gets bad.
All right, so I got a question for everybody in the chat. I know there's only 9 people, okay, over here on YouTube. There's a few people on Rumble. Is the melting pot theory working? Are we all getting along with liberals and minorities that are illegal or don't respect this country? Okay? I think if you don't respect this country, all right, you hate this country, whether you're white, black, liberal, Mexican, I don't give a fuck, legal, illegal. If you hate this country, you hate this flag, you hate this Constitution, you hate what this country was built on, you think this country was built on racism, then we need to just ship you the fuck out. Take you over to the West Coast and just drop you the fuck off. Okay? Give you your own states. I think everybody that loves this country should stay in this country, and it should remain the United States of America. If you hate this country so bad, get the fuck out. And that's how I felt for the last, I don't know, fucking 10 years. Look, dude, I woke up one day, I didn't want to become political. Okay? I didn't want to get involved in politics. I didn't want to have to do what I do now, telling hard truth, offending people, pissing people off, not having very many friends, being isolated. Okay? I didn't want that. But somebody's got to tell the truth. Somebody got to rip the fucking Band-Aid off. Somebody's got to quit tiptoeing around, bro. What is the problem right now? I don't know. Liberals? Immigrants? All right. Anyway, getting me all fired up. Let's go.
I can't. Well, yeah, I mean, that's just the reality. He's said a lot of crazy shit. There's a lot of clips of him. Generally, he sounds very polished. I mean, that's where I think most of the comparison comes from is, I think in 80% of his content, he just sounds like kind of Charlie Kirk, where he's, very eloquent debater. He's good with words. He's quick on his feet. He makes good points. He knows all the arguments. He knows all the stats to back up all of his stuff. And so I think generally for the majority of people, unless you like kind of know the dog whistles or like the subtle prods.
I can't fucking stand that word. Unless you know all the dog whistles. Like, liberals don't have fucking dog whistles? Alright? No, they just come out and simply say whatever the fuck they want to say. Like for the last 10 years calling Charlie Kirk a fucking Nazi. A white supremacist. A racist. They called him a fucking sexist, a homophobic. Transphobic. And then they assassinated him in 4K for everybody to fucking see over and over and over and over again. Okay? Then you want to talk about fucking dog whistles. This is why I can't stand a fucking liberal, dude. Your dog whistle was a fucking rifle 140 yards away shooting somebody in the neck and killing the dude. That's your side, buddy. You own that. You support that. Shut the fuck up.
Also, he's very anti Jewish people.
Which Charlie was not.
Yeah. Well, that's a whole nother.
We've already discussed that.
Nick Fuentes and Candace Owens and all
I'm
them
sure.
involved in.
Yeah.
Nick is actually now. Candace Owens has come out and said that she believes the Jews were involved in Charlie Kirk's death. Okay, she said that. Nick said the opposite, and if you watched his show, you would know that. Nick said it doesn't look like Israel was involved in this one. So, wrong again about that. But anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, not into Jews, not generally into like race mixing, all that stuff. But they sound very similar, right? And that's sort of what I was getting at with you.
I'll say this: if you don't want to race mix as a white person, as a black person, as an Asian person, whatever, then don't fucking do it. All right? Who the fuck is somebody else to say like, hey, like if somebody comes out and says, man, you can race mix with other races or whatever. You guys can do whatever you want to do, but I don't want to do that. Who or is anybody else to say like, oh man, you can't fucking say that. That's fucking racist. It's like, nah, dude, that's just how I feel. Okay, am I? And that's the thing. Like, I don't know. People like that. It's like they want to control what you say, what you do, how you say it, who you're fucking. Like, dude, mind your own fucking business. Personal freedom, personal liberty. Okay, if somebody feels that way, doesn't necessarily mean you have to agree with them, but that's their opinion. I don't know.
Where like, and we've talked about this before, where a lot of left-leaning people conflate Charlie Kirk and Nick Fuentes, is because about 80, I would say 80% of the time they sound very similar. It's hard to sort of delineate where the differences are, right? Especially where, in my opinion, a lot of times I'll be charitable and say, because the left has overreacted sometimes and called people Nazis or, fascist or whatever you want to say the word is that the left shouldn't be using in referring to Republicans. And because they've been overzealous with that, the right, weirdly...
Did you notice how he minimized that? He's like, how the left has kind of gotten out of line sometimes, and they've just used those little words like Nazis and racist and white supremacist, homophobic, transphobic. Yeah. Don't minimize it, bro. Your side created this mess. Your side is why we're in this position right now. And this whole liberal nonchalant, like, it's the right side's fault. Even though we said a few little things. I don't know, man. The whole fucking media, all of Hollywood, every musician, every fucking Democrat politician repeating over and over and over and over and over again how much Charlie Kirk was a racist, homophobic, transphobic, fucking Nazi, member of the KKK. Like, you just add onto that list, and they repeat it. They said, I think Van Jones come out 2 days before, or I think it was like the day before Charlie Kirk was shot, and called him a fucking Nazi on CNN. And then when Charlie Kirk dies, he wants to pretend like, oh, I'm so sad. Shut the fuck up. That's why I'm telling you right now, you can't trust a liberal. And look, alright, I don't tell anybody what to do. Do what you do, bro. But I'm telling you, I wouldn't trust this guy sitting next to you. I wouldn't do it. And he's a snake.
He has, like, tried to reclaim the words and been like, we don't care if you call us Nazis, fuck you anyways, right? And they've just stopped denouncing everything. So because the right stops denouncing things, and because they're using a lot of the same words, if I'm being charitable, it becomes very difficult to tell them apart sometimes.
I will say, I've seen a lot of conservative people.
I have never seen a fucking liberal denounce anything. And I've never seen the right hold them to it to denounce something. Okay? And they've done some fucked up shit. They've said some fucked up shit. I've never seen one of them fucking apologize for it. You want to know why? Because they have the media on their side. Okay? They have all the Democrats are... See, the difference is between Republicans and Democrats is Democrats stick together. If a Republican comes out and says something fucked up or racist, sexist, homophobic, transphobic, it's like all of a sudden the right starts attacking him. Okay? If a Democrat did that, they'd be like, well, that was such and such. He didn't mean that. And they would just move on. Well, now the right has adopted that same idea. Okay? We are not denouncing shit anymore. Okay? Doesn't necessarily mean we agree with them, but in the public's eye, we're not denouncing shit. I mean, it is what it is, bro. You can say what you want. You can like it. You can not like it. But we ain't denouncing. Just ain't gonna do it. I think the right is finally tired of cucking. And I applaud them for it. Now, I guarantee you, these people don't agree with the group text messages that came out and this and that. Okay? But I do believe that, if you went back, 10 years ago and you got into some of the Call of Duty fucking voice chats of some of those online games, you'd have probably heard 20 times worse. Okay? I don't know. I don't make much of the text messages leaking out and this and that. They're literally stabbing, shooting, and fucking killing our side. And we're worried about text messages? Nah. I'll pass.
People and I've seen a lot of people denounce Nick Fuentes. I've seen a lot of people, it's even been kind of denouncing Candace lately because of the conspiratorial issues. And because, in all honesty, if let me say this, if white Christian males or white conservatives under the age of 30 are left into the arms of a Nick Fuentes now because of what happened to Charlie Kirk, that whole generation is screwed. I do want to say that Nick Fuentes will lead you astray. He will lead you the wrong way, down the wrong path, give you a bunt. And I can't say that about Charlie, man. Charlie.
This is where I'm going to disagree with Nelson. Okay? Because Charlie Kirk, in my opinion, was the voice of reason. Okay? Charlie Kirk was the man that you could have a conversation with. A respectful conversation with. And he debated. He spoke with people in good faith. He tried to help when he could help. He got frustrated at times. Said some stuff that a lot of people didn't like, which is, you're going to do that in life in general. But he was most of the time respectful, nice, considerate. And they they assassinated him in broad daylight. In 4K for everybody to watch, like I said earlier. So you took the nice guy, you killed him, and now you are left with what you are left with on the right. And what you have is a bunch of pissed off people. Okay? Bunch of pissed off people. And the left's going to keep pushing, and eventually that teapot or that tea kettle that's getting ready to boil over, it's going to fucking explode. And, all this pussyfooting around with Antifa and all that shit, yeah, it'll be done. Yeah, I don't know, man. They shot the nice guy. You're left with Nick now. I don't know. I like it. You need somebody that's going to tell the truth. It's going to be an asshole. Okay? I had a friend once tell me, okay, when I was going to AA, Alcoholics Anonymous for people that don't know. Okay? I went to him one day and I said, man, I said, I'm so deep into this AA big book, and I said, I feel like God's like leading me in this direction, and I want to talk about it in AA meetings and this and that. And I was like, but I seem to all I do is piss people off. And he told me, he said, I don't give a shit. Stop worrying about that. And then he said, if I go into a meeting and there's 50 people in a meeting and 49 people get pissed off at me and one person listens, I've done my job. And sometimes you need a guy with some rough edges that's going to come in and shake some shit up. And I believe that is what Nick Fuentes is. I'm tired of these buttoned up Republican politicians. All right? Trump now, in my opinion, is a politician. Okay? He took money from big ass donors to be where he's at right now, which makes him, in my opinion, a politician. You need people. Whether you like it or not, you need people like Nick Fuentes. Whether you like him or not, it is what it is. All right, so I'm going to read a few of these chats before we keep going. So Nightwork says, your country preached multiculturalism for 30 years, and we are far worse for it. Yeah. My country is worse for multiculturalism, not better. Exactly. If you import people from war countries, you bring that war to your own shores. That's truth. And what up, Crawfish? I see Crawfish in here. I see Scott in here. What up, Scott? What are we looking at? We're looking at, have you watched this video, Crawfish? I'm watching Nelson's video that he did with his liberal friend today. Like I said in the beginning, I don't have anything personal against Nelson. I like Nelson, okay? I think his little liberal friend's a little gay, okay? And I just don't like liberals, okay? I just don't. I see, and this is the thing. You don't need to debate. I think the time for debating and trying to find common ground and all that happy horse shit, that's over, bro. It's done. It's done. We're done finding common ground. Okay? That's just my personal opinion. I'm done with that. I don't want to find common ground. I don't want to debate. I don't want to be open-minded to your ideas. No, I just want to mock you and your beliefs. And that's what I'm going to do. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think this is on like his new channel or a collab he did with this guy. I think it's their new channel, though. I think somebody told me that in the chat. So, all right. So, we know how I feel about liberals. Let's move on.
Being young as it was, hadn't had the whole world figured out yet, but he was trying to figure it out. And whereas this is the issue, this is part of the issue of what we deal with just in reality in general, is I have seen, because I've had friends that are liberal that would send me clips of Charlie Kirk being racist or whatever the case is, and I have seen literally the complete opposite version of him on my algorithm. And I think that what that does is it leads to vastly huge different groups of people to look at Charlie, specifically Charlie, and one side is hanging their hat on, hey, he deserved this, or hey, you know, when you speak like this is the kind of, and here's the message, listen to what he's saying. And then the other side is looking at these beautiful monologues and these beautiful debates between him and kids with all the patience in the world. And we're looking like, why would you want somebody like that to die? And then you have two very, very opposing viewpoints. And I think in the disgusted nature that I have of Nick Fuentes, I think Nick Fuentes is trying to capitalize on that divide by bringing more together through his beliefs and what he sees through his lens. And it's a disgusting move.
That's what he does.
Once again, I'm going to disagree, okay, with Nelson on this one. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of people were pissed off at Nick after Charlie Kirk died because Nick wouldn't fan the flames. Nick wouldn't say, hey, we got to start attacking these liberals, okay? We got to start attacking these trans people. Like, he backed away from it, okay? And he tried to calm it down. And Nick actually, for once, in my opinion, tried to be level-headed. And people still don't like him. The kid can't win, bro. They made so many, like, I think the whole Charlottesville hurt him when that happened, and they fucking ran his name through the mud. And then the one co-worker he was working with, I think her name was like Cassie Dillon or something like that, sneak recorded him of talking about how he didn't like all the Jewish Zionism in Republican politics. Like, that hurt him. Okay, when all that shit leaked out. This is a man that's been attacked by the mainstream media for fucking over 10 years. Okay? And for him to come out, he had every right to come out and say, you know, I told you so. I told you so. And to fan the flames, but he backed it off. He backed it off, bro. That's what's annoying, is like people still think that he's out here like fanning these flames, trying to get everybody to hate everybody. And it's like, you know what? He has his beliefs and he stands on them, and that's the way it fucking should be. And just because you feel a little bit of pressure from society or the fucking culture around you, you shouldn't back off of what you believe. And I don't know, like I said when I dropped a comment in your chat today, that you should go and watch his videos. Go and sit down for a live stream and see what he actually has to say. So, I mean, that's a challenge, dude. You can't say, oh, I hate this guy or I don't like this guy if you've never watched his content and you've only watched a 1 to 2 minute TikTok video. I don't know. You gotta go listen. And then, if you don't like him, you just don't like him, bro. And there's a lot of people that don't, but in the Charlie Kirk situation, I don't believe he did anything wrong. He was very respectful. You know, he could have been an asshole. Okay? Him and Charlie Kirk hated each other. They didn't work with each other. Okay? They did not like each other. And he could have come out and just bashed him after he died. And he didn't. He didn't. He gets a shit ton of respect from me after Charlie Kirk died.
Is he capitalizes on that gray area where he has plausible deniability and he can say a bunch of crazy shit, and say, I don't mean it like that. I care about black people. I think they'd be better off if we just gave them their own country and all the white people had our own country.
Absolutely
like, that's
nuts.
the kind of stuff you would say, right?
Yeah.
where
But to a 17 and 18-year-old that's looking to you and hearing these things, and then they relate to you about something else that you say, that is the most dangerous thing that you could be doing to 17, 18. You're going to cause people to get their asses beat. You're going to cause people to get bites. Well, they're going to cause so many issues, man. It's not even...
The problem is they would say you saying that is evidence that there's a problem, and that's why we need to separate.
No, I disagree. It's because, like, they're like...
Your liberal friend was right. Just because we say something, we should be punched in the face. Just because we say something like black people commit a disproportionate amount of the crimes in the United States, does that deserve to be punched in the face? No, that's the fucking truth. I mean, just look at the numbers, bro. Man, numbers don't lie. Not saying white people are innocent, okay? White people commit crimes too. I'm not retarded. All right? But you call it out, bro. And a lot of people will say, well, you're an asshole. Hey, man, sometimes the truth hurts. And when you say stuff like, well, you're going to get 17 and 18-year-olds beat up, and it's almost like you want these new kids, these new generations to, like, cuck. And I'm sorry, bro. I hope the next generation, and I'll tell you one thing, I'm raising my boys to grow up and question shit, to push back against the mainstream narrative, to press in to Jesus Christ, to press in to a more conservative type of lifestyle. Okay, I'm gonna raise my boys to do the right thing. All right, to stand up for what they believe in. I don't know. We can't just sit back and say, well, we can't say that. We can't say that truth because this minority is going to be offended by it, or this minority is going to be offended by it. And it's like, nah, the truth is the truth. Anyway.
They have to protect their home. Like, how would you feel if you were 13 out of 100 people and 30 of those 100 started to come at you and say, hey, we don't think you should be here. We think you should have your own country. I'm trying to say it nicely. You know what I'm saying? Your what is it? Your GPA or your
I don't think Nick ever said that, Crawfish. I don't think Nick ever said. What are you talking about? They're paraphrasing. Like, who's paraphrasing? They're definitely paraphrasing some of the shit that Nick said. I don't think he's ever said. Nick said. Nick has said a lot of shit, but he has said shit like, if people don't like it here, and he said this specifically about black people. Nick has said several times, if you don't like it here, we'll buy you a fucking ticket, put you on a boat, and send you back. And it's like, that's the truth. I feel like that about every race, every minority. I feel like that about white liberal people. If you don't like it here, get the fuck out. Okay, we have to find, I wouldn't say common ground, but we have to get back to, hey, I love this country. I want to see this country turn around. And if you don't have the same viewpoints as us, then what the fuck are we doing? We need to have a separation. We got to separate, bro. Because there's some stuff about the black country and white country. Yeah, he never said black country, white country. He has said shit about sending black people back to Africa. He has said that shit. He said, if you don't like it here, we'll send you back. I don't know. I don't necessarily. Some of the shit that the way he says it, shit, I don't fucking really agree with. But I do agree with the idea that if you don't like it here, just fucking go back, bro. Go back to whatever country you were in. If you feel like you're being mistreated so bad here, then go. And the thing is I believe that we have to find a way to come back together as a country and to move this country in the right direction. You cannot do that with a fucking mentally ill liberal. You can't do it, bro. I'm sorry, we're never going to agree on some things. Just never going to do it. They're not going to bend, and I damn sure ain't bending. The whole reason we're in this position as a country is because I believe that the right side and the majority of white people have bent the knee and have let this happen. And I believe our politicians bent the knee and let this happen. So anyway. Yeah, I don't like Milo. He's aight. I don't particularly care for him. He's too dramatic for me. Milo going back on college tours, I mean, I think it would be alright. I've spoke my mind on the whole college tour thing. I don't think any of us should be going to college tours. I don't think any of us should be going to college tours. Because somebody's going to wind up getting hurt. Or assassinated. And a lot of people could say, like, hey man, that's not right. We can't cower to them. Like, what's our goal when we're going to these college campuses? Okay? What's our goal? Are we trying to reach people? Own the libs? Like, if you're trying to reach conservative men and women, okay, I could see that a little bit. But if you're going on campus just to own the libs and get your point across, I think it's a bad idea. Okay? I'm still going to watch the content because I think it's funny. But I do think it's a bad idea. Especially if you have a family. Hey, what up, Chatter Zone? I see you. Yeah. Yeah, if these fools actually left America and tried free speech elsewhere, they'd be fined, locked up, or worse. Yeah. Hell, try to go over to Iran and be a homosexual. See how that works out. Or Saudi Arabia. Try that. Go over there and speak your feminism bullshit over there. Like, it's not going to work, buddy. Good luck. I do believe he changed some hearts and minds, Crawfish. I'm definitely not disagreeing with that. He definitely did. But I think once Charlie Kirk died, it's time to get out. The risk is not worth the reward, in my opinion. And I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe one day I'll look and I'll go, fuck, I'm wrong. But I'm telling you, man, I think they're given the opportunity, they're going to do it again. And I think the next, in my personal opinion, I think the next target is Trump again. I think they're going to try to assassinate Trump. Which they did just find like a tree stand out in the middle of right by the runway of Air Force One. So, yeah. Yep. All right, so let's get back into this. I don't know if I'll watch the whole video.
What makes you smart?
IQ.
Your IQ is low. Like you should probably be in a different place. You'll do better there. I'm gonna beat your ass, bro. Like I'm gonna and hide the Bible if God's watching. Word to Kendrick Lamar. Like that's absolutely nuts. And I think that
it is nuts.
I don't think Charlie would ever say something of the sort. He never has said anything of the sort. And I think that. Even down to like the racial thing, the racial tendencies that he has had conversations on, I think people have taken widely and insanely out of context, and he should.
I mean,
he shouldn't have said it.
You say like the stuff with the black pilot, right?
Well, he was talking about a very specific person.
This was no.
Three people.
This is something some of the most prominent black women in the U.S. he chose to talk about first off. Which is what? Ketanji Brown Jackson, Michelle Obama, and some other one.
Ketanji Brown Jackson was a DEI hire by Joe Biden. I'm going to say it. She's stupid. Have you ever heard her? Like, I did like a voice recording of her in a hearing once. She's dumb. Okay? She doesn't know the fucking law. she shouldn't be a Supreme Court justice. All right. I'm going to say it. People can get mad at it if they want. But basically, Joe Biden said when Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, Joe Biden came out and said, give me a black woman. Literally, to the media, says, I want a black woman to take her spot. Hey, dude. The truth is the truth, bro. It's a wild one. It's a wild one. But we're getting ready to get into like this whole DEI hire.
But even
the discussion.
Just the black pilot example, which, granted, I'll admit.
And the thing is I want to say this. Michael Obama, all right, Big Mike. Big Mike was only in the position she was in, or he was in, because of his husband, Obama. All right, so she kind of was a DEI. She was in there because supposedly she's a woman. Good old Big Mike. Anyway.
I've not seen the full clips in context, but I've seen several clips of him making the same joke about getting on a plane, seeing a black woman pilot, and wondering if they're qualified or if they were hired because of DEI.
Let me explain the context. The context was he was having this conversation and having this.
All right, so look, I flew to Anaheim, California. All right, from Ohio. Last year for work. You think I didn't look to see who the pilots were? Okay? I don't want a woman pilot, period. I don't care what color she is. You can say what you want about me. All right? I've seen how women drive. All right? I do not want a woman pilot. And I had a black woman pilot on one of my flights, and it was rough. Okay? The landing was rough. I mean, those planes are so... Once they get up in the air, it's pretty much the same with everybody, but you can really tell the difference, like, sometimes with the landings. But I would rather not have a woman as a pilot. But I will say this, the one pilot that had the roughest landing and the roughest flight was the Asian dude. Like, dude, the Asian dude couldn't land or something, bro, because we hit hard as fuck. And that was when we landed in Anaheim. So, but, I mean, they're getting ready to talk about airlines and DEI hires, and the liberal guys like, well, I've never seen where they've used DEI to hire somebody. Well, they used they used DEI to get their, like, messaging across. I mean, the airlines basically came out and said we're looking for minority pilots, and they launched like a black pilot initiative. I mean, it was like right in front of your face. I mean, they ran commercials on it. They put out paperwork on it. Coca-Cola came out with like this big DEI shit. And it wasn't only about race either. It was about the LGBT community. They focused a lot on trans people. Okay, they wanted it to be, they wanted to preach diversity, equity, and inclusion, okay? They made people at their jobs take DEI training. I went through a DEI training at one of my jobs. It was the biggest crock of horse shit I ever seen in my life, okay? That's with most HR training. But anyway. Yeah, the landing was rough. It was rough, bro. It was rough. I'll tell you what. The last flight I had now was only like a 45-minute flight, so it wasn't that bad. But and it was at night. But the smoothest one I had was an old, heavy-set white guy, dude, flying this little tiny-ass plane, dude. Yeah. But anyway. Wasn't just because he's white. I think it was just because he was old. He's like, fuck it, dude. We're getting this plane up in the air. We're getting this motherfucker down. All right, so let's see what Crawfish is saying. See, this is one of the big ones people talk about, though. Charlie was talking about DEI and said if we can't be sure our pilot of color wasn't a DEI hire, then it caused doubt. Exactly. All the shit that they took out, like all the like TikToks they did, all the people on Twitter that were like putting shit out, like literally they were taking Charlie Kirk clips or like what he said on social media or during debates, and they were taking them out of context. If you watch the whole debate, or like let's say 10 minutes before, 10 minutes after what he said, it explained everything. And it wasn't racist, bro. Charlie Kirk wasn't racist. But in my opinion, if you're getting on a fucking plane, okay, and if you can't answer this question honestly, then I just stop, okay? When you get on a plane, you want to make sure that whoever's flying that plane is fucking qualified, okay? And if you're seeing commercial ads being ran on TV from Southwest, United, American Airlines, and they're all talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion, and they're all promoting like minorities working at their facility and becoming pilots and this and that. Like, bro, you start thinking like, are we hiring the best or are we hiring, whatever quota we got to make or whatever? I mean, it's gonna create doubt, bro, even if it's not true. Which I do believe it was true. They were hiring solely based off the color of your skin. And they were running it as DEI. I mean, some of them backtracked. Some of the airlines backtracked and stopped doing it. Didn't they lower the requirements too? I don't know. I know they did in the military when it came to women. They lowered the requirements, but I think they just now cranked them back up. My whole song, Dear Charlie, is an explanation to the biggest lies. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, bro. Like, people still believe them lies. It's weird. Yes, DEI benefited liberal white women the most. Yeah, I agree. Oh, man, it created... Dude, at this one job I was at, Crawfish, I'm going to say this and then we'll jump back into this. At the one job I was at, bro, it created like 7 new HR positions just because they took on DEI. And they had like DEI training, like support groups, blah, 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 this and that. The funny thing is like right before I left that job, and I was only there like maybe a year, they started laying people off because DEI was taking such a flop. It's crazy, bro. Like, it created like 7 new HR positions. The biggest waste of shit ever. I told my boss, like, when I took the DEI training, I told him, and I'd only been there like a couple months. I said, I'm letting you know. And he was like an older white guy. I said, I'm just letting you know that DEI shit, that's horse shit. And he's like, I know. He's like, I didn't want to take it either. And I'm like, I was like, yeah. But anyway, moving on. Let's see. I don't know if I'm going to get through all this. I still got 13 minutes, and this liberal dude lies a lot.
This debate, and the kid that he was having a conversation with was a black kid, and the black kid was like, woe is me. The world is against me. And he was like, dog, you're in college. You're doing good for yourself. If you have that type of victim mentality, you're never going to make it anywhere, I promise. Which is true. And then that's when the kid went into the DEI. He's openly debated about DEI a million times, but this is important, he saw DEI as, I'm just going to hire you because of the color of your skin, and it doesn't matter what your qualifications are, right? So what he was saying in that situation is, if DEI continues, it will make people terrified if they get on a plane and see a black person, because they're going to wonder, is this person qualified to fly a plane? It got taken out of context, stripped down, and sent out as a clip to the left, and the left took it and ran with it. It is what it is. But if you just dug a little bit deeper, you would see that it was based off of what very well may happen with DEI, even if his idea about DEI was misconstrued, which I feel like you would probably.
You see his little liberal brain working? It's like a little fucking rat trap, a little rat wheel spinning around. Now you about to hear some bullshit. Watch this.
Probably say that it was.
Watch him.
Like,
here he goes.
When it comes to colleges, which was the affirmative action thing, right, where they would, and I don't even necessarily think they were just, accepting the people because they were a particular race. It was more so they were factoring it in, and if they had, well, I guess in the Asian, there was a lawsuit where a bunch of Asian people sued Harvard because the standards for like other races were lower, right? So that all got thrown out after that case. I think it was in 2023. So I don't even think that's a thing anymore. But I've not seen examples where, like, say Delta, for example, is just hiring black pilots just to pad the numbers. Like, I've not seen examples like that. But because this happened in colleges, it just gets extrapolated out and becomes like a meme.
I think he was just literally talking about the precedent of it in general. Like, if this is something that we're doing, and we're hiring people based off of the color of their skin instead of their qualifications, regardless of their qualifications, which, most liberals that I know say that's not what DEI is. Most conservatives that I know say that is what DEI is. I'm not very well informed on DEI, I'll be honest. But if it's anything like, strip it down to the bare minimum, man. If it's anything like we're hiring people based off of their ethnic background versus qualifications, when you start talking about flying planes and you start talking about, building structures, and when you start talking about people that have, like, they're doctors or like whatever the case may be, when you start going into all of that, if people are getting hired based off of their ethnic background instead of qualification, that is a dangerous thing, is it not?
I've just never. Yeah, I would say that is a dangerous thing, but I've never seen evidence of that. Like,
he's never seen evidence of that. Does this dude not work? What does he do for a living? Okay, because I worked manufacturing for 19 years, okay? And I worked in manufacturing and I worked in the quality control department, okay? And I literally saw Indian people being brought from India over into our facility. Or, because I worked for a Japanese company, they would literally bring over Japanese engineers instead of hiring Americans. Now, that's not necessarily DEI, but that is undercutting American workers. So when you say, like, we don't ever hire anybody based off like their skin color or where they're from or their cultural background, because the company I worked for knew that they could bring people over from India, pay them less money, and make them engineers. And the majority of them were terrible engineers. We had this one guy could barely speak our language. I don't think this dude has ever been in charge of fucking anything done. Like, I don't know. The dude didn't know what the fuck he was doing. Everybody knew he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. He barely spoke English. They bring him over. Instead of hiring a white guy or a black dude that's been here, born in this country, okay, they bring this dude over from India that doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. I don't think he'd ever seen a car part in his life, okay? And the company's getting, like, kickbacks from that. I guarantee you they are. Okay, they pay him less. They're getting some kind of kickback for it, okay? All right? The American people themselves are getting a swift kick in the ass when it comes to being, like, hired through all these visa programs. That H-1B visas, that's a fucking scam. They're bringing all these people over from India and giving them American jobs. And the people that should be pissed off about it the most are black people. Okay, because it affects them too. This is something that the white and black people should be able to come together on and say, whoa, wait a fucking minute. Like, we actually live in this country. But most black people are too busy. I'm not saying all of them. Most black people are too busy blaming the white man. And it's like, hold on, man. We ain't. Look, bro, you bringing all these people over here. It ain't our fucking fault. Anyway, I got kind of sidetracked. But to say that they're not using these DEI programs to, like, hire people of color or whatever, that's just a straight up fucking lie. That's a lie. He knows that. Stop, dude. He's being deceptive, bro. And the thing is Nelson doesn't follow politics that much. He's a Christian man. He's a reactor. He's a good dude. Okay? He doesn't follow politics that close. Okay? So this guy's kind of, in my opinion, taking advantage of that.
For all the DEI funding cuts and whatever Trump is doing, I've never seen the handbook for hiring for, whatever for the post office or any other government organization that says,
"What up, Jeffrey?
20% black people, find a way to meet your quota."
Where do you think people are? I'm not gonna debate you on that, but where do you think people are getting this information from? From the right?
I don't believe in like affirmative action. I don't believe in the whole. I don't think that affirmative action is what I'm thinking of. It might be. I can't fucking think about it. But man, I think we should all be on like a level playing field. If we go to fucking put in like anybody that is a citizen of the United States, we should be on a level fucking playing field. We go in, we fill out an application, we turn our resume in, we go and interview for the job. May the best man win. Okay? No matter what color you are. If you're an American citizen, the job should come to you first. And may the best man win. Why can't we do that? Like, I don't understand that. It's just weird, bro. Like, why does everybody have to? Well, I've been down and out and this and that, and it's like, you know what? We've all been down and out, bro. Get the fuck over it. Let's go. Like, level playing field. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
In all seriousness, like, because people really believe it.
I think it's just a bunch of people making up bullshit stories. I don't know, like, there's
a lying liberal, bro.
A person who is sitting there with a coloring book, and he draws a big monster, right? And he hangs up the monster, and he draws some flames, and he hangs up the flames, and then he sits in between the monster and the flames, and is cradling himself and crying, right? That's what I think it is. Is you're creating monsters in your closet to be outraged about. Because that's the thing is if like
you're making monsters in the closet because it benefits you, bro. It benefits you too, the white liberal man. All right, to feel virtuous and righteous, and make you think that you're like helping somebody out or something. I don't know. I don't know what you're getting out of it, but you think you're being very deceptive right here. You're saying that no company hires based off skin color or cultural or like their culture. Okay, you're telling me a company's never hired an Asian kid because he was good at math or something? Like, I don't know. You act like the problem doesn't exist, bro. And that this is all news to you. And I think you're being deceptive, bro. You're being deceptive as fuck right now.
A lot of political conversations, you know this about me.
Yeah.
I've yet to have a conversation with somebody who can point, aside from the college example, to specific DEI programs that they have a problem with. Like, it's one thing, and maybe Delta had like, young.
Okay, like I said, the whole fucking airline thing, how they promoted it, that wasn't the only people promoting it. Almost every company was promoting some kind of form of DEI. Okay? And a lot of it has been, hiring based upon, I wouldn't say hiring based upon race, but showing favoritism towards people of color and homosexuals, and trans people. Okay? That's what the whole thing is based on. It's like, oh, you're white? All right? You've been, I don't know. I'm not going to say it. I can't think of a way that I want to explain it that's going to make sense. But it's like they want to put everybody before the white guy, the white Christian guy that's, you know, it's like they want the black, gay, trans, lesbian. That's who they want to head their company up. Idiot homos aren't qualified for jobs. Are filling places too. Yeah, true that. True that. Dude, I've hired laborers, mechanics, truck drivers, salesmen, and supervisors throughout the years. I've never factored race into it except in South Texas. I hired local Mexican mechanics. I'm not saying you would do something like that, but these big corporations and companies, yeah, they have. I know they have. I've watched them do it at some of the companies I worked at. And they do it in a slick way to where you wouldn't, like, you're not going to just come out and accuse them. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you hired that person because of their race and their skin color or whatever. Then all of a sudden they're looking at you like, damn, racist. It's like, hold on, man. Next thing you know, you get fired. So, I don't know. I'm losing interest in this, though, and I got 8 more minutes.
Young woman pilot scholarships where, you know, maybe they found a young woman pilot, which this is a completely made up example, where they found, you know, young women pilots just because they felt like that'd be a good thing to have, because I know women are severely underrepresented in being pilots. I think it's like 10% of women or something crazy like that are pilots. So, you know, I think that's dope if they want to do something like that.
Good. We don't need women pilots. All right? Women need less rights. All right? Less rights. No pilots. I've seen how women drive. It's bad. Okay, I definitely don't want them flying a plane. So episode 1, I took a few shots at women. Episode 2, kind of following a trend here.
But I've just not seen any crazy examples where they're specifically only trying to hire a certain type of person or advantaging certain types of people for jobs like that.
So it's an acronym for diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's a framework aimed at creating workplaces and societies where individuals from all backgrounds feel valued, respected, and have equal opportunities to succeed. Diversity refers to the presence of a wide range of identities and perspectives. Equity focuses on fair treatment and access by addressing historical and systemic barriers, where I can understand where some people would feel like, all right, if I don't even believe in systemic barriers, then how can I roll with this?
Well, a lot of what they're talking about with regard to systemic barriers too are like,
well, let me finish. And inclusion ensures that every person feels a sense of belonging and is empowered to contribute their unique ideas. It does not say anything about qualification. And I know that
that whole thing that he just read sounded gay. Sounded super gay. Yeah. So.
Just literally Googling this. So
Yeah, but.
Should you not be qualified? Like.
No, that's. Oh my God.
Because to me, this looks like.
I need to see examples of the programs though, because I've heard of examples of DEI programs that I think people wouldn't have problems with. Where.
Sure.
Like we're talking about.
Like initial hires,
systemic barriers or whatever, like where they try to go out of their way to post job opportunities to neighborhoods that they normally haven't been able to before. Because you don't want to just hire within certain areas
and that's
that
good.
Might have racial demographics.
No,
right?
I do think
you want
to
advertise your jobs everywhere, and if they make like a little special extra, effort to advertise in like disadvantaged area or historically disadvantaged areas for say post office jobs or something like that. That would be a DEI program that I think most people wouldn't have a problem with.
Well, let me tell you where I feel.
What are we doing? Hanging flyers? Dude, we got LinkedIn and Indeed. I mean, are you trying to say that poor people don't have phones? You're trying to say poor people don't have a computer? I don't know. Black people don't know how to use a computer? Because liberals have said that before. Oh, shit. Oh, you racist.
Like it would be beneficial, right? Is like, all right, you grow up and you're poor and you don't have like let's say it, like if you really don't have the money, you don't have the suit and tie, you don't have but you did grind it out. You went to school, you spent every spare nickel that you had on getting your lawyer, like your degree in law. All right, let's say that. And a firm, you go to the firm and you don't look the part, and the firm says, well, you're qualified.
I'm glad you see that, Chatter Zone. Yeah, I mean, dude, you got like Indeed, you got LinkedIn, you got other job other job posting places. I mean, I'm pretty sure they probably still put them in like the local newspaper and stuff, but like, I don't know, dude. People find a way, like, I don't know. Like, we're talking about we're talking about like systemic racism. Like, I don't know, dude. Dude, let's talk about right now. Okay? The one thing I'm thinking right now is like, I can't, like, sometimes I can't believe or like wrap my head around it, like how black people or just other minorities in general think that they have it like worse. Like, bro, we have equal opportunities, bro. Matter of fact, I would say a minority or a black person has a leg up over a white person right now, even though we are still carrying slightly majority in this country. In my opinion, they're considered before white people. And I'll say this, okay? I put in a job application. Now, I'm not saying this is what Spirit Halloween did, okay? I put in a job application because I was going to work part-time at Spirit Halloween to get the 30% discount, okay? Because the employees get a 30% discount. I wanted to make a little bit of extra money. I was like, fuck it, man. I enjoy Halloween. I enjoy animatronics. I enjoy that shit. I like having fun. Put in a job application. Never got called back, okay? My work record is impeccable, bro. I've never went without a job since I was 17 years old. All right, impeccable. All right, I go in to the place I applied to, the place I applied to. I go into that store and it's nothing but women and minorities, and it's like, well, all right. And I'm not saying that they did that, but they could have. I would never know. If they wanted to hire only women and minorities, I would never know. You would never know if that's their approach, like any company. And Spirit Halloween's ran by Spencer's. Spencer's is a big store. Like, they're, I'm sure they're corporate in some way. I don't know. They put a sign on the door. And indeed, that's it, yeah. This is like a podcast about basketball where nobody knows the rules or history of basketball. Yeah.
You went to school for this. You seem like you got a good head on your shoulders. You're not qualified to take this. Here? I don't know, but you're not. you can't take this position because essentially you don't look the part. I can understand where this would come into play, and this could help people like that, right?
Touche, crawfish. Touche.
It's like Great. But are we basing what DEI, by definition, it does not seem like it is based on qualifications, which I feel like is why people are taking it out of construct if it's being taken out of construct.
It's separate, right? Like, you can have multiple programs, you can have multiple initiatives, you can have multiple things. Like, say the program, it might just be to, put up different flags whenever it's a certain country's holiday who you have hired an employee from there, right? Say there's American flags on fucking 4th of July, and say you have a fucking Nigerian employee and you put up a flag for the fucking Nigerian employee, shit like that, just to make them feel appreciated. I don't know if that's a thing, but that's like broad things, and that has nothing to do with hiring. Like, you're assuming, I think, that because this is the narrative, that all DEI programs only have to do with hiring. That is not all DEI programs do.
But if that is one of them.
Yeah.
Right?
But that would be like an affirmative action program, which has already gotten thrown out by the Supreme Court, and I think is bad. Like, I don't think you should only hire people because of what color they are.
Right.
But I think that generally, if you want to have programs that make people feel appreciated and try to, like, hire from different areas than you normally would just to give extra people opportunities, then I don't think that's a bad thing.
I don't either. And I will full circle this, and I will say that...
Yeah, how did we get here?
I will say that Nick Fuentes would hate the idea of you having an equal opportunity if you're a different color than him. Whereas I feel like Charlie would not... He encouraged people that may have been less fortunate to not allow that to be a stumbling block for them, and for them to see that through it all, you can make it through everything. You can live the American dream. And I appreciate Charlie for that. Whereas I look at Nick Fuentes and I feel like he hates black people and he wants them to fail.
I just think, and maybe this,
I'll say this, I don't agree with that statement. He's been critical of the black community. No doubt about that. He's been critical of the Jewish community. No doubt about that. He's been critical of the left. He's been critical of the right. He's been critical of Trump. Maybe he's just a little bit critical of everybody that's fucking up. And I mean, he's been critical of illegal immigrants, right? I mean, I don't know, dude. It doesn't make him racist. It makes him telling what he thinks is the truth. Anyway.
I just think these days, Republican politicians have done, and it might be partially a fault of the left. I'll be extra charitable. It might be a fault of the left.
A lot of people do that, Crawfish. A lot of people do that to Nick. And I'm not trying to be mean, but it's like, bro, you can't, like, I understand. He has said some racist shit, bro. And, that's how he feels about it. A lot of people say if you say the N-word once, you're, like, unredeemable, bro. Like, you're irredeemable. And you know what? He said it loosely. He said it with an A. He said it with an ER. He said this, he said that. But there's been a lot of shit that he has said about white people, black people, Hispanic people, Asian people. Like, he doesn't hold back. It's not like he's, like, protecting whites or something. He just tells the truth as he sees it. And I don't know. I think that's the beauty of the First Amendment. You should be able to say whatever you want. If you want to criticize another race, you should be able to do that. Like, I mean, I know it's not like the same or whatever when we're talking about like black crime statistics and stuff like that, or how many black people are on welfare, which I don't know what the numbers are on that. Like, I know there's a shit ton of white people that are on welfare too and abuse the system. So, like I said at the beginning of the podcast, there's a lot, like, I have family members that have abused the fuck out of the system. So, but like, if you can't be honest about the other side or a different race or like then what the fuck are we doing? Do we have to be PC robots all the time? No. I refuse to do that. White people, I believe, just to fucking attack them for a minute. I believe that there's a lot of white people that are weak and they're cucks and they're quick to apologize. They're quick to grovel. And in my opinion, they're quick to denounce. They'll denounce whatever they need to denounce so they don't get fired or, criticized by their peers. I don't know. It's just weird, bro. It's weird. But anyway. Let's go. What up, Alex? We're getting ready to wrap up here soon. I'm almost done with this clip. Yeah, percentage-wise. That's one thing people don't realize. Like, they'll say stuff like, well, white people commit more crimes. And where's more white people on welfare? And it's like, let's do per capita? Let's try that. Like, the percentage of people in the country? Yeah, you gotta do that. You can't just, say, well, there's more white people in the country. Anyway. Let's go ahead and finish this out. I'm just going to let it play all the way through.
Like I said. But they just need to do a better job of differentiating themselves. I was just watching a Piers Morgan debate where Jack Posobiec, or whatever, however you say his name, just refused to be able to denounce all of the the Nazi group chat leaks from the Young Republicans, and then it turned out some guy who was running for an elected Republican position had like a weird Nazi American flag on one of his staffers' walls that like he just kind of didn't know about, allegedly, and then there were more.
It's kind of weird that he like brings this up because there was a lot of people on the left that refused to denounce Charlie Kirk's like assassination, to come out and say, hey, this is fucking wrong, shut it down. There was a lot of Democrat politicians that refused to do that. There were a lot of people on the left that refused to do that. And then also I think there's a guy that is running to be a congressman in the state of Maine, and he's a Democrat. And it was just found out that he had a Nazi tattoo covered up on his chest. Okay, he had like skull and crossbones or something. It was some kind of Nazi tattoo. He come out and made like 2 apology videos. I don't hear him talking about that. Denounce that, little liberal guy. I want to hear you denounce that tattoo right now. I'm sorry, bro. I'm not denouncing shit, especially if you tell me to. I'm going to be like, nah, fam. On national TV? Nah, I ain't denouncing it, bro. Like, I don't give a shit. Oh, you want me to denounce it? Fuck you. Denounce these nuts. Anyway.
Nazi text leaks, and Jack Posobiec just could not denounce
it.
And that shit,
it
makes it hard. Even Piers Morgan, who I would say sort of leans a little bit towards Trump, if we're being real, even Piers Morgan was like, why can't you just announce both? Because, of course, Jack had to bring up, well, there's shot Charlie Kirk and blah, blah, blah. It's like, we can say both are bad at the same time. It's not that hard, buddy. So,
why is that so hard for some people? I don't understand. Is it relationships? Is it?
Because they're just fucking losers, man. Like
We're talking about group chats, okay, with a bunch of buddies talking about whatever they want to fucking talk about, making jokes, sending memes, thinking that these text messages would never see the light of day, okay? And we're talking about that instead of, I haven't heard him say one thing about people that were mocking Charlie Kirk's death. I haven't heard him say anything about the violent rhetoric and propaganda that the left wing Democrats and politicians, all that shit that they've been pushing for years. Okay, we want to talk about some fucking text messages between a group of guys. Okay, I know a few people that I talk to on a regular basis that, our chat and messages are pretty fucking out there. We send some pretty crazy memes, okay? Boys will be boys. And you can say whatever you want. Doesn't matter to me. I'm not going to criticize them over it. I want to focus on the people that are actually committing murder and assassinations on live TV. Anywho.
I don't know. They see it as some vulnerability, I guess. I don't know. But it
It's
really
disgusting.
Is. But even JD Vance.
Oh, you know. You
shit, but
fucking know.
Like,
You fucking
and they're like
know.
in their 30s, some of them.
I like JD Vance, man, but that's a garbage cop out, and I don't want to see JD Vance continue to do cop outs, man. I think that you're too good for that.
This liberal's deceiving you, bro. He literally is manipulating you. I'm telling you, you can't trust this guy, bro. And I hope that when you see this, Nelson, because I'm sure you'll watch it, I hope you know I'm not like attacking you. I like Nelson. Like I said at the beginning of the fucking video, Nelson is a good guy. I respect him. He's got a shit ton of motivation. Nice dude. All right, but this liberal guy, he's manipulating you. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Like he's gonna hear this. I think that he is too good for that.
We know you're listening.
Yeah, I think he's too good for that. I think that he's too clever for that. He's too smart for that. I don't want to see JD Vance go down a road of cop outs.
I think it looks good though. It makes people feel good when they see it. They're like, "Yeah, fuck all you people who disagree."
Because they're selling it. Yeah.
It makes people feel good.
I really don't like it, man. I don't like the idea of. It takes a certain level of salesmanship to become president and vice president of the United States of America, for sure. I don't like. I think morale should hang way over your salesmanship. Like, who are you, and why do you stand on what you stand on? And you have to be able to answer these questions. Yeah. In conclusion, Charlie Kirk is nothing like Nick Fuentes, and Nick Fuentes is a whole lot of things that I can't say as a Christian.
I was gonna say, yeah, we don't want to make that enemy this early on. We need some fans who can go into the trenches for us before we start fucking beefing with them.
Speaking of salesmanship, this guy's denouncing it and doing it at the same time. He wants the Nick fans. Come on.
We don't want the Nick fans. We just don't want the Nick enemies yet, bro. We don't need all those motherfuckers fucking doing whatever crazy shit they're doing.
Anywho's, man. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate y'all. Please make sure to like and subscribe on your way out if you like content like this. You're gonna see.
All right, so you know what to do. Go subscribe to their channel. Here it is. I don't know what it's going to be called. Is it Split the Difference? I don't know. But anyway, go support Nelson, whether you agree with it or not. I like Nelson. Nelson, you know, he always tries to promote my page and shit, you know, so. He's always nice to me. Let's put it that way. I don't know if he'll be nice to me tomorrow. But that's the risk you take, all right? Sometimes you gotta call out the little liberal guy that's hanging out with your buddy, all right? And a lot of people will say, man, you're an asshole, you know? Yes, I do. You do like the concept? I don't, Crawfish. I mean, that's just me. Ever since Charlie Kirk got shot, I think like 2 days after that happened, I just said I'm done. I'm done trying to find common ground with these people. I'm done trying to like reason with these people. I'm done trying to be friends with these people. I just don't. I'm done. Like, I tried it for like 11 years, dude. I have family members that are liberals that don't fucking like me because I'm outspoken about politics. I've tried to be friendly. I've tried to be cordial. I've tried to be nice. I've lost friends. I've lost family members. I've been called Nazi, white supremacist, KKK member. Now they're adding anti-Semitic to it. So I don't know. I'm just done, bro. I'm done. Do not pet or feed the liberal. Exactly. Yeah, you missed the whole live. You missed the whole live. I'm getting ready to wrap up. I figure he was probably sleeping or something, bro. Or busy. Okay. So I'm gonna get ready to wrap it up. I think I'm gonna play Mises' new track again. I got this track stuck in my head, so I want to play this on the way out. I don't know why. This is just like Mises is super dope, but this track is stuck in my head and I really like it. Oh, you've been editing? That's all good, man. You can go back and watch it. I know politics really isn't like, you're not like super excited gonna be fighting people to like jump in and watch my show about politics. Okay. You know, some people like politics, some people don't, and I understand that. But I just always appreciate Potheads. I always appreciate her support. I really do. She's an OG for real. So I just appreciate you stopping by. Hit that, even if you don't watch the video, just hit the like button. So, yeah, I hear you. Life comes at us fast, though. We got other shit to do. For real. Which one is it, Alex? Is it the one she just came out with Granny? One she just can't. Oh yeah. Yeah, I appreciate it, Pieheads. Appreciate you. Nah, y'all good. Y'all good, man. Some people, I understand. Politics is not for everybody. Some people, like, even if they like my politics, sometimes life's just busy. It's busy around this time of the year. Wishing well? Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Okay. I have heard that song before. But we can jam to it together on a live stream. I think I'm going to do a music live stream Saturday night, by the way. Well, I don't know. Saturday night's going to be a little rough. It's going to be trick or treat. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow night. When is your birthday? Next week for my birthday. You have to let me know when your birthday is. At least I'm here for the music part. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, I don't expect people to like, I got 1,600 subscribers. Most of those people are not going to like my political take or even want to talk about politics. They want to focus on music to get away from all that shit. Which is understandable, man. A lot of people don't want to be political. And I'm good with that. Trick or treat. Yeah, trick or treat's coming up this Saturday for me. So. But anyway, I'm going to jump off here. I'm going to get off here. I'm going to go get ready for bed, all that good shit. I appreciate you guys stopping through, hanging out, spending some time. This will evolve eventually into something. Like I said, I had a plan tonight, and then I wanted to react to Nelson's video, which took up almost 2 hours, because that little liberal likes to lie. That dude's gonna hate me tomorrow when he wakes up and watches this video. He's gonna be like, damn, dude just kept roasting me and wouldn't leave me alone. Anyway, I'm out. I appreciate you guys stopping through. I'm going to play a track on the way out. This track has been stuck in my head, bro. I love this track. It's probably one of my favorite Mises tracks. All right, so here we go. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate you guys. God bless you. God bless your family. And God bless the United States of America. I'm out.
Martyr, a person who willingly endures great suffering or death rather than renounce his or her faith. Martyr. Sacrifice like half my life, and I don't chase after money, I chase after Christ into the afterlife. So you can pass the mic, and I give you my 2 cents until they cash my life. And when I bounce like a bad check, know my head is high cause I gave everything I had checked. I don't forego, I was built to endure. Might as well die if you got nothing to live for. But I'm living raw. ready and willing. Yeah, I give my all. They gon' have to kill him. They gon' have to fill him from top to bottom with hot lead showers and leave his body rotten. But doesn't matter, cause his memory is not forgotten. Cause he lives on through every single song he's jotting. Bottom line, when I'm gone, you gon' miss the guy. Cause he live his life like every day's his last kiss goodbye.
Ready to fill my lane, already past the test. Ready to get slain, cause to me it's life or death. And when I face it like a man. No man takes it, I place it in his place. It in. Ready to fill my lane, already past the test. Ready to get slain, cause to me it's life or death. And when I face it like a man. No man takes it, I place it in his hand.
Look, your boy's blowing up. They love my sound. Every time I say what up, they know it's going down. I offer up my life till my coffin's lowered down. Till then, I'm showing no signs of slowing down. I ain't yielding, I ain't waiting. Got the green light from God, get beneath me, Satan. Release me, Satan. You ain't got authority. Surrendered all to Christ, he's the only one that's slaughtered me. And I carry out every single order he gives me in this world until the world slaughters me. It's like I got 40 feet, homie, I won't stop running. They crucified him, what I think I got coming. Guess if I suffer, I suffer. Only makes me tougher till the day they pull my number. Yeah, cause I know my days are numbered. Blaze of glory's how I'm going, tell the haters bring the lumber.
Ready to fill my lane, already past the test. Ready to get slain, cause to me it's life or death. And when I face it like a man. No man takes it, I place it in his place. It in. Ready to fill my lane, already past the test. Ready to get slain, cause to me it's life or death. And when I face it like a man. No man takes it, I place it in his hand.
My people of this country and we're under attack. They banning us, they cancel us for speaking the facts. If you man enough, come stand with us, take USA back. And every time we pull up, all you're gonna see is a man.